Welcome in, everybody, to Monday's edition of Daily Bread. Coming at you live right at 3:20 on Monday. Hope you all didn't miss us too much yesterday. We finally took an off day because I hope you flipped the coin and bet the over for the Pro Bowl because we'll get into that. But as usual, the show is powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Make sure to be checking out that handle down low and shooting them a DM for their February prices. As usual, we're live on Daily Bread Media on Twitter. Make sure to give us a like, a retweet there. Get in the comments. We'll be monitoring them. But as usual, we're live on YouTube. As thank you for hitting us that 1,000. Sorry about the ads that play there now. If you guys hate them or have any feedback, let me know. I can try to change that up and help you all out there. But yes, we did have the off day yesterday. No off days coming up for a long time. We'll have a little bit of a later stream tomorrow, but we'll hit that at the end. Hope you all had a good weekend. Paid for Play was live on Saturday, but Sosa and Rex coming at you for the usual basketball slate. We got our man Jer already tapping in with us. And if you're with us on Spaces earlier as well, talking college hoops, thank you. But Sosa, how you doing today with NHL being back, as Early Sports Bets is saying?
Earl. That's Earl.
Early.
Earl. I know him. We know him. Well, I know him. I'm doing great, man. Got to watch the Pro Bowl. Did you watch the Pro Bowl yesterday? I mean, it was just amazing football.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was watching it with Caitlin,
Incredible.
waiting for a Giants player to show up. So we had to keep it on until a Giants player played.
Oh, did he
They
actually
didn't have
play?
Anybody. That was the whole
No, I
joke.
was about to say, like,
I think they're the only team in the Lions that didn't have a Pro Bowler.
they're like the kid who shows up because his parents like make him play.
No, that was
He has to get in.
the
It's
most
the rule.
bullshit thing ever. The defensive pick six every left and right, two-hand touch. It was
Bruh, the
hard to
two-hand
watch.
touch shit was just holy moly. What the fuck was that? Like I
And then Mac Jones got tackled and couldn't get his gritty TD to stand either.
I have no comments on that. I have no comments on that at all.
Yeah. I just hope you bet the over. That's really all we can say about that because that cash is like really easy. Oh,
All right. Everyone's I wasn't betting the Pro Bowl. Like that was like a direct mark of degeneracy. I had to decline.
It didn't. Some people were saying it was good. I was about to say, I don't know who thought he.
I mean, I think it was funny, but that was about it. I didn't see anything really like that
The
was
one thing that was the biggest thing from yesterday that I don't know if you saw. Did you watch the 30 for 30 with Woodson and Brady last night on the Tuck rule?
I did not.
It's not great. I mean, Brady just flaunts his house every second he gets, and it's fucking huge as you would expect. But bro, Woodson had him shaking. Woodson had him red as shit. Brady was like visibly pissed because they were talking about the tuck, and the two of them just sat down there and talked about it. And he got like Brady to slip up one time and say he fumbled. It was pretty good. They brought in the ref, Walt or whatever. He was like, I made the right call. I was like, no, you didn't.
Wow.
But yeah, so if you watch that, that was probably the best thing I saw last night was Brady was beat red and pissed the whole time. We got Ruby jumping up and in. I guess that means there's a hungry dog on the board today. She hasn't made an appearance in a while. She's been waiting.
She's been waiting for her moment. So I guess today we have a dog.
Yeah, I'm glad, Chuck. I'm glad you agreed with me because you just saw him just. It would have been almost better if he said, yeah, I got it right there. And then he's like, you hit me in the helmet. That should have been a 15-yard penalty. Then you see Brady blatantly trip the guy going after that. He goes, so that's a 15-yard penalty too. So it was a good banter.
Listen, Chuck will be known as Silky Johnson, the hater of the year. All right? Like that man is the hater of the year. Freaking century.
All right, that's 5 minutes of banter and bullshit. We got our people in here with us. We got about 60 people between all of our outlets, maybe a little bit more. But let's get into today's college hoop slate. We got Earl dropping his dog of the day is Virginia. So we're just going to stay right into that Duke UVA game because that's where I have my first play on it. But I'm going with the total here instead of you're crazy for that money line, in my opinion, because I think Duke puts up 75 by themselves easy. I think UVA gets a 60, and that puts us right over the total of 128.5. So, yes, I've made it the entire season without betting a Virginia over. And I'm going to put myself through that pain tonight. But it's not the UVA defensive hold. Duke, they can't guard the 3. They can't guard the 2 on the road. If you look at their home road splits, it gets much worse. I think Duke, even is off their game off of the UNC dub, I think they're going to keep it rolling. I like Paolo to show up tonight. I think it goes over 128.5. But if you don't want to bet it because, like I've done, stayed away from UVA totals the whole year, you might as well do it as well. But I like that over.
I mean, I can't blame you, bro. Duke has just been looking like a juggernaut to some extent this last month, man. They look great. They look like the roster has filled out. Everyone's getting their minutes. They're getting rotations down. They just boat raced North Carolina the other day. We all thought that rivalry game would have some level of juice for the other side, and they just look like they look like a pretty well-oiled machine right now. They look like they got some pros on that team, and I think they've begun to separate themselves from the rest of the ACC. I think it's pretty clear that they're the best team, and they have probably the best player, and they probably have the best 2 or 3 players in the entire conference.
Yeah, not that tough to be out there.
I hate to say it, but this Duke team's loaded, man, and they're finding synergy at the most inopportune time. If you're a North Carolina fan like myself.
What up, Goose? I hope you're happy that I picked Michigan State on Saturday because I told you as long as I picked them, Rutgers would get that home dub and you'd be happy.
Of course.
What's good, Mr. Heat? Second game that we got rocking at you today. We're going to be laying the 6 points on the road with the Dins. Yes, we're back in the Paladins of Furman going into ETSU. And the biggest reason that we like here is Furman's coming off their worst game of the season, or one of their worst offensive performances of the season. There's been 3 times this year where they haven't eclipsed 100 points per possession. The game after that, they got back right, and getting back right spot is at East Tennessee State because they cannot guard the 2 whatsoever. Sure, Furman doesn't really worry about that, but ETSU, they're allowing teams to shoot roughly 50% of their shots from deep this year just because they have no outside presence. And that's where Furman loves to sit there. They're 38.3 in the season. That's 14th best. It's 6. They won by 9 earlier. Sure, that was at home, but I just think this East Tennessee State's going to start slowly falling off more, and Furman covers that 6 with ease.
Yes, sir.
ACC is very weak this year, just like the American, just like the Pac-12. You got a lot of those conferences being weaker than usual. Yeah, going with the Dukies, it's all right. Paulo love there. Jers dropping Montana -2.5. Like that play as well. Kevin Link's taking another ACC over with Pitt, Virginia. Yep, if you want to put yourself through that one as our Virginia Tech as well, go for it. I just avoid Pitt and Vodtech games. Any thoughts on Kansas and Texas? Game of the night here. We saw Texas try to give that last one away. This total's dropped like 5 points since open. I think that's one of the most glaring things, and what Vegas is trying to tell you is that this game is going to sail on their Sosa nailed that Texas on there on Saturday's show on paid for play. So with Kansas coming in here, we can see it with both of these 2-point defenses being there. But with that 5-point drop, I think it's a little too late to be playing the under. I would play Kansas on the money line if I had to make a play. That's my sit back and watch game. Well, Earl, I hope you just saw the tweet they put out. If you still have college eligibility left, you could potentially be on their team if you're a ooey pooey student because they're having open tryouts for all students to join their basketball squad. What a time. So it's this. We've had open tryouts before for college basketball teams because everyone's saying this is the first time it's not, but they've never put it on Twitter saying these are the regulations and the requirements you need. Because I guess lining up 6 against Bobby Moe was we're gonna throw it in.
Nah, the IUPI shit is crazy, bro. I'm sorry. It's the 8th of fucking February, bro. Like it's like what the
They had players get hurt. They had players quit. They only have 6 guys left that they can dress.
It's the 7th of fucking February. Like, just call it a season, bro. Like, just chalk the year. Like, what the fuck?
All right, and the last play we're gonna be rocking with as well.
Athletic just scored. Bilbao just scored.
Nice, you got
Let's
your
go.
team total there.
Let's fucking go.
We're staying in the SoCon.
Yeah, yeah. Roddy knew I was hyped.
He knew exactly what
He
you
knew
were
exactly
playing.
why I was hyped. I'm like looking at my phone, like, yes. Like,
So we're backing both of the SoCon teams to be covering today on the road because we're backing the Mocs of Chattanooga 4.5 -110 going into Mercer here. Chattanooga and Furman are going to be 2 teams to buy onto because they're going to be fighting for that 1 spot in the SoCon because they won't get 2 bids. So that number 1 seed is going to become clutch and key. So I expect both of these teams to try to get style points for the rest of the year. Fading Mercer and ETSU is what I'm going to be doing on the Monday, and that is your 3 plays for the day. How do I feel about Drexel at JMU? Drexel doesn't like to play at their pace and play at every other team's pace, and that's what JMU did the last time. So if you had to give me a play there, it'd be the over. Hung is liking the over 39.5. What's the Kyler Murray news?
apparently he deleted all the Cardinals content off his social media. Like, who gives a fuck? He's a fucking loser. He's a fucking midget who's never won shit. No one gives a fuck what Kyler Murray does.
He also threw a pick 6 to start the Pro Bowl yesterday,
Fuck
too.
that guy.
That's when
Like,
it
who
got
gives a
switched
fuck
off.
about that guy? Like, he's 5'5" and's a loser. He's a fucking loser. No one gives a fuck about Kyler Murray. That's all I got for that one.
Nice. We got our man Tay. Make sure to be checking out his YouTube channel as well for all the boxing content you need. He likes it. I'm riding with his alma mater tonight.
Let's roll. Let's get it.
Let's get into the NBA action. We had one guy dropping questions about Clay already, so get those NBA questions rolling in now. But Sosa, what game are we starting with? Because the Sixers got me feeling great.
Oh, the Sixers got me feeling stupendous.
Right?
Absolutely.
Life is great.
Splendiferous. Things are going well.
Yeah, and come June, or maybe even if we make it that far, someone can come back and clip this and say, how you feeling now?
And I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, we should be in the doldrums right now, but we not. It was everybody, oh, the big Australian quit, and fuck him. We're good. First game we're going to tonight is Charlotte versus Toronto. I like 2 plays in that one. That's the first one's going to be Terry Rozier over 18.5 points at -112. And Fred VanVleet over 7.5 assists at -127. So 2 plays I love the most. It's basically matchup based. I've also been talking a lot of shit about both these players. I'm on record saying that Terry Rozier is better than Fred VanVleet. I mean, if you really disagree, that's your problem. You don't know the game. I love Fred VanVleet, and I love the story of him betting on himself. But Terry Rozier is better. Like, it is what it is. I think Terry has I think 18.5 easy money. Also, I like
this is or were you switching games? Because I was about to say I got one trend in this game for you.
No. We're still on this Toronto, Charlotte.
Yeah, I think it's tough not to back. I think Toronto to win out right here. When they get hot, it's a good team. It's a good time to be riding them. They're 7-2, straight up after they are on a 3-game winning streak. So when they get it, they keep it rolling. And then as of right now, you got Charlotte on the 3 or more game losing streak, and they're just 500 in that spot. They do like to show up against the Atlantic Division 8-2 ATS, which means nothing, but I think this could be a lay spot for the Raptors here. I just think Nurse got him clicking at the right time. He's got his pieces back, and this is when they're going to make that late season run to like get up the 6th seed. I think that's what
Yeah.
the Raptors are set up for right now.
My favorite play in this game is the over. I think the line is set exactly where it should be. Is two teams that are very, very evenly matched. You got a Charlotte team that performs much better at home. Um, I'm staying away from a total from a picking a side perspective. I just think it's because it really can go either way. Charlotte has those nights where they just come out flat and then they pick it up in the third quarter, and then they have some games where they can just boat race you out the gate and then just do nothing in the second half. So they're extremely difficult to really anticipate any results from the Charlotte team. I also think this is a storyline that no one really mentions. Like Fred VanVleet was selected as an All-Star. Um, LaMelo Ball was not. I think we could see LaMelo really try to beat their ass tonight. So that's that. I mean, I'm not personally on his props, but I do think that I wouldn't be surprised if he has a great night. LaMelo Ball, that is. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a great night tonight.
I was about to say we got 5 NBA games, so we can just run down the slate here. If we don't got any looks, we'll just let you know. Let's just stay in time order. Heat going into the Wizards here.
I think the matchup that really favors the Heat tonight would be Bam Adebayo. You're playing a team whose bigs are kind of stiff in Thomas Bryant. You got Gafford, who's Bam at 100%. I like Bam with a double and a win. I got it at plus 112. I'd already bet it. I think it's like down to like plus, just close, really close to like even money. I like Miami to win as well. Like we've mentioned before, Washington's just in dire straits. They stink. Their best player doesn't want to be there. Their best player isn't playing. Spencer Dinwiddie is a crybaby. He just is a jackass who got a bunch of money that really knows crypto. So he should in no way be making what he's making. I don't even think Washington called him in the offseason. I think he called them. So I don't even think they actually wanted to really sign him. I think he was just like, "Hey, I'm looking for a job," and they were like, "We'll listen to you."
Yeah, this is the spot where it's a big line for Miami. A lot of people are saying the dogs could be barking today since the favorites swept over the weekend. I believe that was what occurred.
That's definitely possible. And also,
I think the 6 is kind of spot on, though. I'm leaving Miami here, but
the reason I believe the line's 5.5, if I'm not mistaken.
5.5, 6.
Yeah, I would never bet an NBA line that's 5.5. That is like purgatory land. I would never touch a spread that's 5.5. That's just, I'm not betting on Washington though. They're fucking terrible.
All right, Chicago on the back-to-back. We had our guy, Mr. Heat, telling us not to feel so great because they got lucky against the Bulls who are undermanned. It is what it is. Doc and Joel put the game away yesterday. That's what's gotten us feel great because there's multiple chances where they could have blew that one.
Yeah, I mean, in this Suns Bulls game, I would stay. I'm staying away. I really don't have anything that I love. I know the play that I was really looking at was Devin Booker, 4.5 rebounds. Just based on defensive matchups and where he would guard people defensively, he has a lot more opportunities to get shots or get rebounds in the paint. We all know that he probably gets a lot of switches and he gets a lot of time trying to guard DeRozan. I could definitely see Devin Booker over 4.5 rebounds at minus 115 would be the only play I would be on for this one.
This is a strange one where you have the Suns who are looking pretty solid defensively because this is the 4th time this season where they allowed 90 or less points in the prior game. They're 0-4 ATS after that aspect, which I thought was pretty weird. But Chicago, after they get lost by 10 plus, they do like that over. That's 8-1 on the season. Back-to-backs has you a little bit there, but they're also 9-2 when playing on back-to-back days. So I think you have to lock in the over 227.5 here. I think the Suns will get their offense growing, and then the Bulls and DeRozan will get enough to compete with it. I still think the Suns win, but I think we get over 227.5 here.
I love it. That I like that as well.
Any first baskets in this one?
No.
No.
um, and I think the next game is the Golden State game, Golden State OKC.
Yeah.
I am going to revisit Clay. I like Clay over 2.5 threes to get that at the price that you're going to get it at. I believe it's like minus 105 is what I got it at. Or no, that's just points over 16.5 points at minus 104. I also like him to get over 2.5 threes. And the number on that is, I believe like minus 120, something along those lines.
Yeah, when Clay came back, he's been at that 16.5 number night in, night out. They're not changing it other than the juice.
Minus 115, over 2.5. It's this Golden State team, regardless of how people have said Steph Curry has played, the team continues to win. They're right there without valid rotations every single night. They have a team camaraderie that changes and changes nightly, especially when you're reintegrating Clay. I wouldn't be surprised if the Thunder cover, but I would also not be surprised if this Golden State team comes out here and makes a statement playing against a bad team. So yeah, I'm aiming for Clay's 16.5 and Clay's 2.5 threes. Those are my only plays in this one. And I also like the first half over 107 points at minus 110. Golden State, Oklahoma City, first half over 107 points. Minus 110.
Yeah. Earl, if you want to be taking that big number, you can go for it there. The numbers that say when the Warriors are at home, never be afraid to lay this number. On the road, it's a little bit different there. They are the second most profitable team. Earl had them at 31, 17, and 2. The site I has them at has the pushes as 33 and 18. Revenging home losses are 25 and 13 ATS. You can rattle it off. Versus good defensive teams allowing less than 108 points. They're 15 and 5 ATS. I still wouldn't want to take them. If you want to rock with the Thunder tonight, go for it. No thanks.
First half, over 107 points. That's just that. That's all I got for that one. And I have one play for the last remaining game, the Utah game. Joe Ingles getting hurt really changes some things as far as rotations go. And the guy that I think will really step up in this one is in regards to a player that should fill a role at a bigger level would be Royce O'Neal. And I'm going to take a ticket for Royce to score 10 points at plus 285 and for Royce to get over 2.5 assists at plus 140. That's a small, like I said, like a small quarter unit bet. But with Joe Ingles out, I love him. I love his assist prop. I think that he handles the ball a little bit more. You saw it already the first game. Joe's out. He's third or fourth on the team in assist now. Well, he's third now because Ingles got hurt. Royce O'Neal is definitely he's gonna be a bigger contributor with Ingles out, and I think that he steps up.
Yeah, not much I want to say about this one with Utah and the Knicks. Those are two of your more unpredictable teams right now. Do you want to talk about what Julius Randle did in the last game?
With the slap in the computer. Yeah, I mean.
So before you get into that, this is my point of this. If you look at the laptop, it had film on there. It wasn't stats or nerd shit. So what's different than Pat Mahomes or your quarterback looking at the tablet watching film than the guy trying to show Julius Randle how he's getting burned on defense? He was just saying, get that out of here. I don't want to watch myself get torched on defense because I ain't trying. Like, there's no difference. That's what I'm saying. Don't get on the stats and nerd shit. He was showing them film. Every NFL player goes back and pulls up the tablet, and no one's giving him shit like that.
And that's all NBA teams do now at halftime. They look at the pictures just like NFL teams. They look at the pictures to see what they're doing wrong. It's just just a fucked up situation because I spoke on this last year during the playoffs. Knicks fans are fucking entitled. And the worst thing they could have done was overachieve with a roster that wasn't good last year. It's the worst
No, it
thing
was
that
good
can
for a
happen.
season win total under.
And then because their fucking fans put these fake fucking expectations on a team that's not ready to win, that's not built to win. Now we thought the roster was okay and that they would fight because their coach embodies that regardless of what happens nightly, right? But I mean, Julius Randle only re-signed with New York because they could offer him the most money. Like, let's be honest here. Like he went all out in a contract year and he earned his money. Now the team sucks. He's not giving max effort. I'm not surprised. Like, would you be surprised? It's fucking Evan Fournier out there shooting whatever the fuck he wants, and RJ Barrett's inefficient ass just putting up whatever he wants.
What
So,
happens in a Thibodeau team after they succeed?
they immediately fail. So, I mean, it's of no surprise, but I mean, this is what happens. He got paid. I wouldn't say he's lazy because he put a lot of work in. His mentor is still Kobe Bryant. I don't see him to be I don't think of him as like some lazy dude. Um, but I think it's there's a level of motivation lacking there. And when you're losing, it's never everything gets, it's more microscopic. You have a bigger eye on you. You made the playoffs you weren't supposed to last year. Unrealistic expectations have been placed on this Knicks team.
And it just made
And
everything go quiet that's usually there. You haven't heard about Dolan in forever. You haven't heard
yep,
about players getting kicked out. When you win, it quiets it down, and now you'll start hearing more shit coming back out soon.
because the New York media ain't nothing to play with. They don't like anybody. You guys have seen Spider-Man. And I mean, they don't even like him. So it is what it is, man. I feel for Randall, but them checks are gonna clear, so he can't bitch about it. He knows what he signed up for. The checks will clear. And I hope they're able to trade him here in the next coming days. I think he gets moved by the deadline. That's my firm belief. I think Julius Randle ends up on a different team by the end of the week. I
And is
just
the
can't see him
return on
staying there.
investment not good then, correct? Because you're not selling him at his highest point, and who kind of really wants that contract?
But it's actually, when you look at the numbers, it's actually a pretty manageable contract, and he hasn't had a bad year.
No, he
He's not
hasn't. That's what I'm just
right.
saying. It's not. It's just who
His
could
value,
you lose?
his value can get no higher than it is right now. It can't because what people will say is that he's just producing for a bad team, and then they'll just say he has the green light. He takes a lot of bad shots. So I don't
I'm
think
just
his
trying to
value can
picture,
get any
like,
higher right
what
now.
do you expect to get back for him from the Knicks? Not that's fair or comparable. What do you think they can actually get back? I know you're saying what team it could vary all
CJ
that way,
McCollum,
but
CJ McCollum.
just a straight up 1-for-1.
I
That's what I'm just
mean,
saying. I don't think that's what the Knicks fans would be happy with if that's what they end up turning him for. That's where I'm just saying I think they're going to be selling on less than $1.
I don't see, and again, I don't necessarily believe that because I think that he outplayed his bird rights because of an All NBA season. That's all it is. He qualified for the contract that he qualified for because he had a great year, and that's totally fine.
I'm just
Totally
saying they should
fine.
get more than CJ back for Julius is all I'm trying to say is I
See, I
think
can't
they're
agree.
not going to get what they want.
I can't agree because the people who look at the spreadsheets would say that CJ McCollum is better. They would. They would because he's a 50, 40, 90 guy.
Yeah.
And he's done it twice. So it's not like he, that's what they'll say. The other people will say he's more efficient and he's a better fit for modern basketball. They'll say that Julius Randle is an average athletic double guy who benefits from being left-handed. Like that's just the way they'll state it. So
Yeah. New York tried to put the shooters around Julius, try to build like a weak Warriors with Julius playing the Draymond role, and it just didn't work.
didn't work, and they still devout of talent. The team likes talent, and we've seen some glimpses from guys they've drafted, like Toppin's played better, and we've seen
Quickly just
Quickly's played
go.
better, right? Quickly's played better, but then you take a ticket on Kemba's old ass, and he shouldn't even be in the fucking NBA. should be a 6-man. He's not a starter on an NBA team anymore.
Yeah, I guess the more you put it that way, that was the piece that didn't work that really had to put it together for them to be the playoff threat again.
So yeah, that's like our semi-annual Nick conversation, because I don't think we've ever fucking talked about the Knicks this long ever on this show.
No, we just gotta get to a half hour. We have to meet our requirement, but nah, we just always like the banter. We had you guys jumping back in with it. Why is the Arizona spread moving down? Because the Sharps are nailing Arizona State. We in our
And they're
space
gonna lose their fucking money because Arizona gonna beat the shit out of them tonight. They're
I
gonna
was about to
beat
say
the
because
fucking
all
hell
the
out of them.
Sharps are nailing Arizona State, because I forget Jose came in the space and said he got an update that all the dollars he was getting is on Arizona, but the number kept moving down for Arizona State.
Tonight it's gonna be like that scene in Boys in the Hood where Ricky just decided to run in a straight line for no reason. They getting popped. It's over. They're getting smoked tonight. Arizona State will get the dog shit beat out of them tonight. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but whatever's closest to that word is what I'll leave it at. Also,
see, look, they enjoyed our Knicks talk. We got more questions coming in about it.
right. What was the point? I don't know, because they can call up New Orleans and say, "Hey, Zion, we went and got your friend." I don't fucking know. Like, also, I would like to say this live on here. Listen, if the Sixers do some dumb shit like trade the Australian that quit and Tyrese Maxey, it's riots outside the fucking Wells Fargo. You hear me? Maxey cannot go.
Seth, though, or Seth
Maxey
going,
can't
right?
go nowhere.
Yeah, no, Maxey.
I don't give a fuck about what anyone thinks. It's James Harden. Fuck James Harden.
Didn't they basically said he was untradeable, though?
He better be untradeable. I don't give a fuck. I keep hearing people say, "Oh, but you got to give him Max." No, he's not fucking going anywhere. He's staying in Philly forever.
I'd be completely
I
okay
said
with
that.
I've been sold on him since he hit the buzzer beater in MSG in his first college game.
Not going anywhere. That's our Philadelphia point guard. He got dreads.
Spark plug. That's all I call him. I call him Spark plug because that was him off the bench.
You don't need to go to a barber every other 3 days. You know what I'm saying? He ain't soft. I mean, his pop ain't playing the league.
And you know who coached him? Why is he good?
Calipari. You already know.
That's Daily Bread for today. Give us the like.
The Knicks didn't take him.
Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. They took Toppin instead, but we out.